What's up, Planeswalkers? Six back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena, and today we're going to jump back into some more Lord Bolas. And our topic of discussion today is the new video that the professor from Tellurian Community College put out about his dissatisfaction with the way that master sets are being done. Our opponent here is Mike, who? Mike Jones, I think is the joke he's going for. Mike Jones was a rapper, I think in the early 2000s, and he was known for going, "Who Mike Jones? Who Mike Jones?" Essentially, it was like if Mike Jones was a thing nowadays, it would just be meme to death. Just keep a little hand. Let's see what our opponent is playing. They did mulligan. They might mulligan again. No, okay. Let's see what our opponent's on. Okay, I've been facing a ton of green recently. Let's see if this is a dinosaur deck, or if he's just using the green for land fixing. The fact that it's also red does point towards this being a dinosaur deck. But essentially, the professor put out a video talking about what the stated goals were for master sets, being to put out reprints, and that those goals have not been accomplished. It's a fantastic watch if you haven't seen it yet. I definitely suggest doing so. Sure, that's fine. He's gonna 4 mana next turn. The thing is, I do have 2 or 3. I think it's fine to not play the Highland Lake just yet. I think it's fine to make sure I hold my counter spells up. Cool. So probably gonna do that next turn. So I will Highland Lake here. If he plays a non-creature spell, that's gonna suck. But eh. One thing that the professor doesn't necessarily go into that I think is important to do so is I don't trust my opponent, is the way that they might be able to alleviate some of their woes in terms purely of how to maintain a good limited environment. And my opinion is to make master sets look or play like cubes, right? If the idea is we want to get reprints out, but we want to have it be a good draft set, have people essentially be drafting modern decks, right? You can pick commons and uncommons, since those are the main the main aspects of draft are the commons and uncommons. Those are the backbone. I don't care about that card, so sure. You can have the commons and uncommons be taken from the actual good cards that are being actively played. Even if those cards aren't necessarily expensive, they're still going to be put out into the environment to make sure people have access to them. And you're making a draft environment that essentially is like draft your own modern format. Now, some people might say, this is going to be boring. It's just going to be drafting specifically modern decks. That's not necessarily going to be the case, though, because they can pick and choose not only the quote-unquote decks that they want to have access to in this format, but they can choose how these decks overlap. I am going to play out Scarab God here. I don't think that this deck will have too much of an ability to deal with it, and I'll be able to steal his sweet 5/5 dinosaur. If they do play land into goodness, what is that 6-drop? Carnage Tyrant? That would be unfortunate, but I wouldn't be able to counter it anyway, so. Oh yeah, so like, you can have the commons and uncommons that are in Tron. I won a game, awesome. That are in Tron, that are in Jund, in Living End, right? These are all like red-green cards that you can include into these modern sets. And this would make it so that someone who's drafting Modern Masters not only can get the rares and mythics, oh, here's Star Thunder, can get the rares and mythics that they might want, but also they can theoretically have the backbone of starting a new Modern deck. Or, you do this with Legacy. You can print Legacy cards that people need, and these are much more likely to have these higher price tags, even for the commons and uncommons. And there is a wide enough variety of decks in both of those formats that you can make these limited environments be fun for people who want to draft it. This, I don't know if this is a good hand. My opponent mulliganed, which makes me tempted to mulligan as well. Getting 2-3 is where I want to be here. I do have 25 lands. I'll mulligan. Ooh. So this is like no action till Bolas. But like anything we draw. Oh, that's not true. We can't play like any black spells. That said, like we have the lands, and I don't think mulliganing lower is good for us, so I won't do this. This is something to do on 3. But my opponent is going first, which means this card's actually not as good. Because essentially it wouldn't be until on 4. So I think that Scry decision was correct. Green-whites. I've been coming up against a decent number of these decks recently, and often they're annoying. But yeah, I think that the excuse that the master sets also want to have a good limited environment, one, is nonsense, right? Because the limited environment is whatever you want to make it, right? And people know for a fact that various types of cubes work. Various types of cubes are how people want to play the game. And cubes are very frequently built to have these very constructed feeling decks, right? Obviously they're not going to be pure constructed decks because it's limited and it's a draft and etc, etc. But Wizards should recognize that cube is incredibly popular. And having the modern set, or the master sets, excuse me, be essentially cubes, right, would, I think, lead to a greater acceptance of people wanting to actually buy the cube. And I agree with the professor. I don't think that the pack should be like $10. I drafted the first Modern Master set, and I had a ton of fun. But one of the only reasons I was able to do that was because they weren't as expensive as they are now. Chupacabra is important to keep. Doomfall I don't think is as important. And I think I'll get rid of one of the Crypts. I could not rationalize buying the following master sets besides the first one, simply on the basis that I wasn't guaranteed to break even, right? I wasn't even trying to make money in drafting. You know, part of the payment is that experience. But when I couldn't even say
I'll make use of
I could open a card and like have that pay for my draft, or everyone at the table take this. Everyone at the table opens garbage and you get past like nothing of value, right? Oh, I didn't even notice that I don't have double black. I should have absolutely got rid of Chupacabra. Like a Doomfall. Man, if I Highland Lake, I do nothing. Alternatively, I could Doomfall. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me cast my spell. I don't care about Stu2 right now. Oh, strange. Yeah, I mean, I agree with the professor wholeheartedly, right? I would love to be able to draft the master sets, because the first one I had a ton of fun with. I also, to be fair, I also opened a foil Countervailing in my first pack, which was actually insane. But how can people rationalize paying $30 for a draft if their LGS is able to do it for MSRP? When there's a possibility that they're going to get nothing of value. And not even necessarily nothing of value. A possibility that they're going to get garbage. That they won't even be able to play like anywhere else. So I would love to see Wizards start actually just saying, all right, these are the decks that are currently popular. These are the cards that need to be reprinted.
What was lost is now returned.
We print out the... Can't be counted, sure. We print out these rares, these mythics. Maybe you have some rares and mythics that are just, you know, meant to be... Why would I ever do that? Will I die otherwise? Potentially 3. It's 4, 8, 9, 10. I would not necessarily die otherwise. I would have to draw specifically a black source in order to Chupacabra the 4/3. I do actually think I need to counter this, sadly. Yeah, so you can even still have some rares to round out the draft environment that maybe aren't worth as much. Did I mess something up? Oh. Whoops. Well, I'm dead. But then have the commons and uncommons, the backbone of draft, be cards that people enjoy playing with. Cards that people can just have to add to their collection to potentially work towards making these modern, legacy, even vintage decks. Obviously, with vintage, our opponent is Asadas. Obviously, with vintage, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, considering a decent enough... Like, obviously, you can't print, like, power, and a lot of the vintage decks revolve around power, but, you know. No. That one just didn't have enough lands. So if our opponent wants to mulligan as well. I don't think they do. This one also doesn't have very many lands, but it does have removal. Turn 2, I can cycle this if I have to. Yeah, I'll keep that one. No, go away. Don't put that out. Yeah, I'm curious to see if Wizards will actually like respond to the Professor, because why? Stop with the green. I don't need this trash. Sure. Because, as he's pointed out on Twitter, he's really close to having more followers than their official, Twitter. And it's very likely that, you know, it's very likely that Wizards is aware of the things that he's saying. Whether or not they're going to decide to... What do I kill here? Whether or not they're going to decide to actually, like, in my opinion, be a good company and let us know how they feel about this. You know, I would be very happy with a response of any kind, even if they're like, yeah, no, we like how the master sets are. At least they're telling us something, right? So, I shouldn't be too ranty. I should focus on the game. No. Do this at instant speed. Then again, they do have the card that gives hexproof. Dang. Yeah, this one is a shame. I guess I should have mulliganed again. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Uh-oh. Well, I'll be able to kill that next turn. Okay, that is helpful. I am just going to Moment of Craving that because I don't want them to keep getting value off the lands. Next turn I can... Oh no, I can't even Champion of Wits, man. If they develop a lot, then I can Golden Demise. Yeah, I can still Golden Demise here. Suppose your opponent... No, I don't think it's worth Golden Demising. Honestly, I think I do want to just Champion of Wits. I'll probably end up discarding Hour of Devastation just because we have no, like, innate red. Why did I mess that up? I'm so used to clicking through the deserts like that. Is that a desert? No, it's not. Interesting. I'm looking for lands here. So I'm definitely gearing into that, because there's like very much no area where I'm going to actually get used to that. I like the idea of keeping Vraska's Contempt, but I think Moment of Craving is more flexible in that it just costs less. So, especially considering this is on the field. To be fair, I will likely just be Golden Demising on my following turn. If he plays 2 Lords, then Golden Demise is not usable. But I am hoping that he does not play 2. That's fine. Both of those. I will attack first. I wonder if he will block. I doubt it. Yeah. I mean, there's like no situation in which I don't Golden Demise here. And sadly, because of Crypt of Eternal, unable to make 2 mana. Luckily, that does leave him with relatively few cards in hand. Sure. Okay, that's fine. I will keep Supreme Will for right now. I might end up needing to counter something of theirs, but we'll see. Yeah, I can't let them get value, so. And theoretically, yeah, I could Moment of Craving that, just so he didn't deal damage to me. But I don't think that's necessarily a winning play, as it were. Right? Okay, 1. Then I do this. So yeah, so this one definitely is the more combo oriented Merfolk. Not, I shouldn't say combo, but the more like what's the word I'm looking for? And next one I can play this. Cool. More bursty. Essentially, the idea is that they're not trying to like go wide and then play Lords. This one more is 1/1 counters and. I don't know if we're gonna do that. Sure. But I will be. Yeah, I will be killing that. Let's see what he's looking for here. Sure. Kumana. Now I'm still at 20, so this is pretty good. I'll be able to flash, or not flash, but eternalize this. Do I want to eternalize, or do I want to hold up cancel on Kumana? Pretty sure I want to eternalize. And the reason being is I want to draw gas. I want to draw lands and gas. Like holding up cancel for Kumana means he can't expand his board, but I'm like not changing my position at all. See, like that's what I want to see, right? That can go away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sweet. So next turn I can Nicol Bolas. Because that's all the men I need. I need an untapped red source. Oh, no! Stop it! Darn it! Technically, we missed the land drop, but it's fine. So yeah, like I can Nicol Bolas into just murder Kumana here. And I swear, if this dude is running a random counterspell, the salt will be incredibly real. I just realized I would love to actually see Nicol Bolas in the game, and I got to have him here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna murder Kumana.
For your God-Pharaoh has returned.
And the reason for this Don't you dare do anything I wouldn't want. No, I think they have something. I think they're going to be hexproof. Yeah. That is fine. So what that means is that if he's able to give both of them unblockable, he can kill Bolas. If he's able to buff Kumena at all, he can kill Bolas. Because right now he can make this unblockable by tapping this. Let's see what he has. He has 2 cards. It looks like he's going to activate Kumena, but I'm not entirely sure. That's strange. Okay, well, I'll block Kumena. Even if I block this, right, and he has another dive down, this still doesn't die. Theoretically, it would die if he has the put 1/1 counter on things, but I don't see why he wouldn't just put 1/1 counters on them before I was able to block, because then they would be unblockable. Yeah, why not just do that before?
Celebrate all you want. I shall return.
That's strange. I guess I'm just gonna exile one of their things. I mean, obviously they're gonna exile that one, but that was incredibly stupid tap. Absolutely tap like this. Yeah, I wouldn't have enough for that anyways. And I'll just try to kill him. I'm disappointed that my Bolas is dead, but I am going to try to kill you. That's a no. I mean, I have so many good context here. And as long as, see, like, the way it went so fast with his attack step, and then, well, that was pretty good. I do think that he probably just has another, no, it's something that he couldn't play, though. Because it went straight, unless he just, like, ended his turn? I'm gonna try to kill Kumena.
Praise me.
Okay, that works. Coolio. 2 out of 3, pretty decent. And I will go ahead and buy a pack for those who like to watch the pack openings. See what I get. Oh gosh. What did I use my rare? I don't know. I've been seeing some really heinous decks with Karn's Temporal Sundering. It's like actually gross. I'm not making that deck, like, ever. It's awful. Oh, I didn't mean to show you that sneak peek. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think about the whole Masters situation with Wizards. I do really hope that they get better, because I think the concept of them is good, right? Getting more reprints into people's hands is fantastic. Magic should not be something that, like, you have to take a month's pay to like make a deck. I think that's a bit ridiculous. Obviously, like, you know, decks can still cost money. I'm not asking for things to be free, and neither is the professor. But having things cost so much is so prohibitive from people getting into the game. Go ahead and tap that like button to add a subscription to your mana pool, and cast a comment to the comment section down below. And until next time, all be one.